And we're not gonna quantize it or nothing. I'm just gonna take this guy. Yo, that's kind of wild right there. So with this splice thing, I think there is the functionality where you can actually drag a sound over in here. Let me just find something. So what you're supposed to be able to do, I mean, yes, you can search Splice, you can pull up your favorite stuff that you've already like favorited on Splice, which is cool. Kind of gets your library in one place, just like the desktop app. But I think you're supposed to be able to like drag a sound right here, and Splice will search it and find something that's like or works with that track. So it does. That's cool. I mean, it figures out whatever key it is. It finds out what key it is, and it's finding stuff that sounds like it. Hmm. That's interesting. So it's able to analyze what you've dropped in there and pull stuff from Splice that could work with it. And you got your key down here, you got the packing, you got the 1x BPM, 2x, time stretch it. That's cool. That's dope. I think that's cool about it, being able to find something. Let's just see what we got here. Let's try. But I think the main feature is like being able to like really search. So like let's find like, I don't know, an R&B drum thing. It just keeps you from having to open up the Splice app. The Splice app is now in there. I think that's cool for what it's worth. It keeps you from having to open up Splice on your computer and drag it in. But so let's bring our BPM down to something. I think 95 BPM is like my favorite, you know. Woo. So you take that, you can just drag it in and it downloads it. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Then we can loop it out. Let's create something here. So let's just see. So I was able to pull something, a loop in from Splice, and then we'll go to our instruments. Of course, you know we're gonna pull up. Let's pull up peculiar sounds. Let's see how this keeps us in the creative flow. You know what I'm saying? Let's make this smaller. Let's see what we feeling here. Let's just do that much. Let's see, I'm still working with Splice, you know, and we'll go back and we'll pull some. I just want to lay down a quick little like bass line or something. So that's cool being able to drag from there. I wonder if the Splice integration works, you know, like the drag and drop thing. Does it work with MIDI as well as audio? Let's find out. We're going to drop a MIDI track here and see what happens. Okay. Again. Well, let's see what else I got. And then I might drag in one of these. That's cool. I can see it. Now that's kind of dope. I just that's just I didn't hear this before, so I don't know if that's just something that I found. That's wild. If that's something that was already on Splice, okay, let's go for it. Like that's kind of wild. That's kind of wild. I wonder if it actually. I got nothing. That actually just shocked me. That actually just shocked me. I don't know because I that was just a chord progression I literally pulled out my behind, and they took that and put. Man, you know what's crazy, and you know what really elevates a track? Having the right drums. And speaking of drums, if you haven't checked out Yosh's Drum Warehouse yet, you're seriously missing out. We connected with John Yosh, a 7-time Grammy Award winner, and we packed over 600 plus multi-sample sounds that work with any DAW and are perfectly formatted for Trick or Two. We're talking tons of snares, kicks, toms, and so much more. You name it, it's in this sample pack. So whether you're on Logic, Ableton, Pro Tools, Cubase, Bitwig, whatever you got, it's all here. It's ready to take your production to the next level. Seriously, go grab it right now. gospelproducers.com. All right, back to the show. I put the MIDI in there and it just split this out. I mean, that's pretty much my chord progression, like verbatim. That's kind of wild. I'm gonna try something else in a second, but that's kind of wild. I'm actually kind of blown away by that. I don't know if that's just a coincidence that just happened on this stream, or if that's intentional. If it can take something that you recorded and then use if it's some AI trickery going on in the background and actually, it's like the thing was listening to what I was playing. Like I dropped the bass line in and it literally spit back to me the same chords that I was playing. I don't know if that's a coincidence. I don't know if that's a coincidence or if that's kind of wild. I got no words for you on that. Let me see something. Let me try something. So if I am, because that makes if that's the case, that makes like beat making and making tracks like a whole nother like thing. So now I got a whole thing and I could just keep building on top of that. So I could pull up like a lead. Let's see what we can come up with what we got. It's kind of fire. I'm gonna do a totally different chord progression in a different key. I don't know, just whatever. And we're not gonna quantize it or nothing. I'm just gonna take this guy. Now I love it. Figures out what key I'm in, That's kind of fire. That is figuring out what key it is. That's hyper convenient. That's really dope. All right, so let's see what they come up with. That's kind of crazy. Yo. Now that's not it, but this one was almost yo. Yeah, yo. Yo, that's kind of wild right there. That's kind of wild. So now I got that's wild. Let's bring the drums back in. That's actually the goat feature. That's actually goat. That's like kind of blowing me away right now. That and maybe it's the fact I don't know if there's like some AI like foolishness going on in the background, uh, or if it's just consequence of there's so much music and so much stuff already on Splice that it's a spin of the dial that it's going to be able to analyze and find something that sounds just like what you just did. This has really got me scratching my chin at how they're doing that. I got a couple of ideas of how it's working. But I like for instance something that I noticed, I don't know if you guys picked up on it. And I'm going to do it just as I'm not going to use anything, but I'm going to use this as an example. What it does is and the fact that it could do it with midi, that's kind of wild. But if I take this guy and drag it back in here, let's follow. There you go. But you heard that, right? See how I just did that? Like that. What it's doing is it's bouncing your audio. It's bouncing your audio and then uploading it to Splice. So whatever you just like cut and dropped in there, it's uploading it to Splice's servers and then it's finding a match. Now, with that, there's a concern I have with that. Like, if everything that I am dropping into that little thing is being uploaded to Splice, what are they doing with that audio? Are they taking that audio and putting it back in their system? I'm gonna do some exploring on that because I'm curious before all of us start like mass like dropping tracks in there. What's happening to those tracks? What are y'all doing with that audio that's being uploaded? Because that's evident what's happening when I drop it in. It's evident that it bounced it because I hear what I just did, like as if I just did a bounce in place or something, right? So it bounced the audio as a wave, uploaded it to Splice's servers, and then found something that works. Now that makes sense, and then because then I can go here and play my reference. That's kind of wild. That's kind of wild. I'm wondering what they're doing though. I'm wondering what they're doing with that. But I think overall, that's a fire feature. That is probably it. That really, I expected it to be like, oh, you know, splices in there. That's cool. Just drag a track in there. But a fact that I understand audio because I think that already exists on Splice where you can search with audio. I think that's like, I've seen that in the app before, though I just kind of go through there and just kind of peruse sounds when I've used it. But I think that's a thing. That's cool. But the fact that I can take a MIDI file while I'm in my session and be able to just take it and drag it straight into the browser, the Splice browser, and within seconds, it literally spits back to me something that's going to work in my track. That, my friends, actually is pretty dope. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, that really impressed me. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. And